Welcome back to Braves Bullpen. Another week, Gardie. We are now late August, pushing early September. Late August. August 22nd, we are recording this show today. And Gardie, we talk about it pre-show. We talk about it a lot. This is new Lanto week. Although we did lose to the Mets last night. The Atlanta Braves are on a roll. Since we last recorded, sweeping the Yankees, taking 2 of 3 against the Giants at Truist Park, dropping the opener last night to the New York Mets. Game 2 and 3 tonight and tomorrow night in that one. And again, Gardie, we talk about this a lot. There is talent up and down the roster, and it seems that no matter who gets called on in that big situation, they find a way to win. And, we talked about it last week with Ozzy Albies going down. He is slated to be reactivated on Friday for the West Coast trip. So look for him to be traveling with the team. We talked about it pre-show. Kyle Wright also slated for his first rehab start in Rome on Thursday. Jesse Chavez throwing live bullpen. Gardie, without him, who?
Who?
Who? I don't know. Who? Who's on first? I don't know.
That's what I asked you. Who? But no, I mean, to your point, like we continue to progress as a team. We're in late August, August 22nd. Our magic number since we last talked last Wednesday has gone from 31 to 26. So we only need technically to win 26 more games. But we haven't won 5 games since in the last 5 days. We won 3. But the Philadelphia Phillies have lost 2. We're still 13 games up in the loss column on them. And it's just this depth. Vaughn Grissom hitting 281 since he got called up. I believe that's what you said, with a double. Hopefully, I think, I haven't heard anything about it. He's been playing decent defense, which is kind of his only Achilles heel. Ozzy Albies is coming back. Kyle Wright is coming back. Remember, folks, Rye, what happens when it comes to playoff baseball? What happens in September? Your roster gets to expand. You get more players on it. So, boom, that's an amazing thing to have. You got this guy who is killing it in Gwinnett. He's actually he's raised his 2 for 6. That's 333. So his batting average has gone up in his in his major league games. Also, Ryan, it's a little unfair to him in my opinion because two of those ones where he did not get a hit, 2 of those at bats were both pinch hits in 2 of the Giants games. And that's kind of tough. Your first 2 games getting recalled into the major leagues, and they just send you out there cold. I mean, I think we both, are nowhere near and much more lackluster athletic careers have gotten called in at a cold, maybe it was middle school football, but it's no fun. Your muscles are cold. You're gripping the bat more tight in his opinion. But he's doing a great job. Ozzy Albies is coming back, and Eddie Rosario. Right. This is we spent enough time talking about pitchers. We're going to talk about depth of lineup today. Eddie Rosario became the 6th Atlanta Brave this season. Yeah, write this down. 6th Atlanta Brave this season to be NL Player of the Week. He joins Acuna, Matt Olson, Sean Murphy, Ozzy Albies, and who's the 5th? I can't remember. It was another one of our infielders. But anyways, Austin Riley.
Austin Riley. I was about to say the last one.
Yeah, sorry.
Hey, it's okay. It's still early in the week. It's Tuesday.
I'm used to recording
even we're
on
coming in cold. Yeah, we record on Wednesdays. We're coming in cold to this show.
I think I just pulled a hammy on that one. But no, but it speaks to the depth of the lineup that throughout a 162 game season, and we still have 38 more games to play. 6 of your starting 9, consistent starting 9, have been the best player in your league, which is, when it comes, I mean, they do the players of the month. That's a little different. I think we've got a couple of those too, but it's really kind of the only accolade they give out continually through the season, and 6 guys, and it ties an MLB record, and it is a franchise record. And you're like, I could see some of these other guys getting a nod. Vaughn Grissom stays up. Has a good week. Are out like even Marcell Ozuna the last 7 days he's been hitting 410. Really, really,
He's putting those wife jokes to bed.
Yeah, he's being a real good husband, just hitting the ball. But up and down the lineup. I mean, Matt Olson, I know we talked about it. He said it on Pardon My Take, and I brought it up after that interview went live, that he said hey, I don't worry about striking out or fouling out or lining out, because I know that even if I go 0-4, there are these other guys in the lineup who can help pick me up. He had this, he was hitting home runs like it was going out of style over the last 10 days. Now, over the last 10 days from my last recording, over the last couple of days, he slowed down a little bit, not hitting the ball as well. I read a tweet that, quote, in today's MLB, it's a slump. But it doesn't matter, because we have all of these other guys. And when it comes to building a playoff and a World Series contending team, and if you want to differ with me on this one, Ryan, I'm happy to hear you out. But having that confidence that I know that I can stick to my game and I can play my game, and my other teammates are going to lift me up if that's not working, and I don't have to feel like I have to go, reinvent the wheel, because I'm not hitting the ball so great over the last 5 days.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. And I think in Matt Olson's defense, to your point, where current in modern era baseball, this is considered a slump. Well, modern era baseball also considers like 235 with 30 home runs a good season. So yep. we could argue what modern era, baseball is. Don't call a slump a slump. But I think from Matt Olson's point, he's right. I think you looked at this, like 7, 8, and 9 hitters, even when Nicky Lopez was called in to, basically just kind of be that Freddie fill-in in the infield. Even he was producing at a pretty high clip. So I think, we sit there, and in years past, Gardie, obviously when we've done this show, there's been something to talk about. And yep. Every single show, there's always been a theme for the season. First year, obviously they won the World Series in our first season of doing this. It was still the bullpen. It was the bullpen, the bullpen, the bullpen.
I mean, they were a 500 club when they going into the playoffs when they won that World Series.
Absolutely. It always seems to be there's something that we can fixate on, that we can kind of sink our teeth into. The lineup isn't great. Acuna goes down with that ACL injury. There's always that something where we're sitting there and we can, because it just continues to repeat itself.
Yeah. However, AJ Minter hates puppies. Like, yes. But I think part of it, Rye, is the natural inclination of someone reporting on a team is to be negative. And now that we're owners too, really changes the perspective. But
what a difference a couple shares makes, right?
What a couple $100 really makes a difference. But at the end of the day, I think what's really happening is this is a magical season. We are on pace to match the greatest season in Atlanta Braves franchise history, that 106 game winning 1998 Atlanta Braves team, with Hall of Famers like Chipper Jones and Andrew Jones. And I didn't realize it took me a while to read both their names were done. Maddox, Glavine, Smoltz, so many guys. Even like Ozzie Guillen, who's a well-known, maybe not a Hall of Famer, but a Hall of very good player. And so that's also, it goes back to, once again, this depth, this positivity that we have these guys, these 6 guys, all 6 of these guys who have won NL Player of the Week until 2030 forever. So not only are we having this great season now, but if these players continue to do what they've shown they could do, and now are continuing to do once they've gotten the big money, which is always the scary thing, they can continue to do that even at, 80% of what they're doing right now, you still have a 90 to 100 win ball club.
Absolutely. And I think we've never really seen pitching this deep either. And I know that that has been our harp for a while, but even, you kind of talked about, 4 horsemen-esque. And I'm going to call it 3.5 because, Charlie Morton has been a little shaky since the All-Star break. Still picking up wins because he's getting, when you give up 8 runs, but you score 11, you pick up a win. But you also look at young pitching. Spencer Strider, 25 years old. Bryce Elder, 24 years old. Max Fried is in his late 20s. That's old for this staff.
Dog.
And then Charlie Morton's in his mid-30s. But that's
Kyle Wright's below 32, I believe.
Kyle Wright is in his mid-20s as well. And that was your 20-game winner last year, who hasn't pitched pretty much all season. So if you can sit there and do better without a 20-game winner than you did with him, and you have Spencer Strider on a deal currently making less than $1 million a year currently. Obviously, that big money payday is right around the corner for him. Bryce Elder, $750,000 is what he's getting paid this year. He is making less than $1 million, and he is arguably one of the best pitchers in the Braves rotation, and at times has been the best pitcher in the rotation. Elder also gets the ball tonight against the New York Mets. Going into tonight's game, he is a 9-4 record with a 3.45 ERA. But again, like, just pointing back of this is, I think, obviously we have the best team in baseball. We have a team that is up and down the lineup, dominant at every position. And Gardie, you mentioned obviously 6 NL players of the week. There's 15 teams in the National League, 14, at 26 guys a roster, right? Give or take. So we got 15 and 26. We're at almost 400 players in just the National League. We've had that 6 times in a, 20 or so weeks of a season so far. So 1 in 3 every third week, you're averaging a player of the week. That is an absurd stat in its own right.
Yeah. That is absurd. And also, that to a certain extent, there's a little bit of that Mickey Mouse, like every team needs to get an NL player of the week. You see it in the All-Star game. But it's inarguable. Like, they are just that good. And also, like, think about it this way, right, too. Like, those guys, like, there have been weeks when Matt Olson was the NL player of the week, and he beat out, Austin Riley because Austin Riley had 2 fewer RBIs but had 3 web gems at third. Like, it's just incredible. And, Rye, we are a fan show. We're an owner's show. So if you see those web gems, if you love seeing those 6 NL players of the week this season playing at Truist Park on the road, I think they're in Citi Field right now.
No, they're home now, but they were just in Citi Field last week.
Thank you. Oh, because just the Yanks, they played in Truist last week, but they played.
We get it. We're losing
when they own it.
Whether we're in old Atlanta or new Atlanta. We don't know. Yeah. We're losing track.
But we would love to hear from you. I know Rye would at least. Text his number. I'll drop it in. But
put in the comments.
We'd love to like, comment, subscribe. I'll give you his phone number. But we'd love to hear from you. And at the end of the day, let's go Braves. I love you, Poopy.